I mean, I muted y'all first, man. I was trying to be generous. I muted y'all
You
first.
was bobbing your head and it couldn't hear nothing.
Nah. I was, you know what I'm saying? I'm just chilling, bro.
Bob and Sam.
Yeah, like he always on my case, bro. Like, what's up with buddy, bro? Like,
I love to see it. You ain't been vibing. I love to see it.
bro, he be
Wearing
dragging,
that
bro.
orange cap. I'm surprised he ain't wearing the black one today.
Huh?
He wearing that orange cap today.
He probably gonna switch it in like 5 minutes, bro. You know
I
how
told
he weird.
I told you, I got every color, bro. I got some more in the closet. My Dukes make them. Shout out to my Dukes.
Whatever, bro. Anyways, CFB recap, man. Championship recap, man. Shout out Rock Rack. Shout out Yak. Shout out Everyday Entertainment, official sponsor of GRG. This is GRG, Game Recognized Game Recognized Game After Dark podcast. It's me, Kobe, Todd, JB. We are back, man. Appreciate y'all for pulling up late. And nigga Charlie, number 80, is an underrated receiver. Has been underrated all year. You are right, brother, man. Nonetheless, y'all know who we got to start with. Our in-house Miami fan. Our the guy who believed that they could make it this far, the guy who believed that they could pull this off potentially. And I just feel like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we got to give you the spotlight because you were a believer, a firm believer. And frankly, I'm proud of you for believing this much. You know what I'm saying? I'm proud. It feels almost like you willed your team this far. Y'all just couldn't get the job done. You know what I'm saying? But here's what I do want to say. Carson Beck is going to be Carson Beck. I need to know how you feel about Carson Beck. We got to give you center stage. You know what I'm saying? It's only right that we give our in-house Miami fan the floor.
Give him the Zoom.
Go ahead.
Look, man, like you said, Carson Beck is Carson Beck. So I'm not – the interception is bad, but I'm not tripping. At the end of the day, I'm not going to put the law solely on Carson Beck. In all areas, they did not meet the standard tonight. That's the bottom line. They had opportunities after opportunities on both sides of the ball to make plays, and they didn't do it. The interception is tough. Because regardless of what happened, you had a chance to win the football game, and a better pass, you may go down in history. You know what I'm saying? So it's bittersweet for sure, but I can't be mad. Like, Indiana's a great football team. Like, they prove why they're the best team in the nation. So Miami had a tough task regardless. I think they didn't play their best football tonight, and that's in large part to Indiana because they came with a game plan. They executed it at a higher level than Miami did theirs, and that's the bottom line. But we knew coming into this game, Carson Beck, the game was going to fall on Carson Beck, and it did. He had the chance to make the biggest drive, and he couldn't do it. And the drive started bad. You had to delay a game. You got bailed out by the roughing the passer. So you got a fresh start, and then you had an opportunity to make a throw, and you couldn't do it. And it just reverts back to we knew what he was. And the fact that it came down to Carson Beck having to make the play, to me, is where we lost. But honestly, the biggest play in that game was that 4th and 5 when Mendoza took that quarterback draw for a touchdown. I think right there was the biggest play in the game, and we failed to get a stop. And that kind of killed their chances. They kept playing. They fought hard, but I think that was the game deciding play. And Miami ain't rise to the occasion. Great year, though. You know what I'm saying? But bittersweet ending.
Jay.
To me, cool. Carson Beck was at the University of Georgia. Every time the announcers came out and said he had a hard time at UGA, the brother went 24-3 at UGA. What was so hard about that? You had one of the best head coaches in college football, Kirby Smart. What was so hard about that? The only hard thing about playing at UJ was the expectation of you turn the ball over. And what did you do for your final play of your college career? You You did what you did best at Georgia last year. You just gave it out. So then, for me, as a Georgia fan, the hate watch was successful today. I was rocking with Miami strictly for Malachi Tony and Mark Fletcher and them boys. Carson Beck. Hey, brother, get ready to learn third round NFL backup. And then you can go and do what you want to do. Start your podcast. Come out with YouTube videos saying revealing the truth about Georgia. Do all you want to do with that. But guess what? The 305 will not miss you.
B. Go ahead, B.
And I think we're on the same page, Jay. We even felt this way for a while. And I respect Ty for trying to be blind to it because he needed that guy to will them to a championship. We been knew who Carson Beck was. We didn't know. I don't know why anybody would be surprised that Carson Beck did that for his last play of his college career. He showed us this at Georgia. We thought it was going to change because he went to the ACC and looked good in regular season. When it's time, Carson Beck going to show you who Carson Beck really is, and he showed it to end his career. So the NFL dreams might be gone. Might be time to go get ready to go use that degree, man.
Miami, Carson Beck. Listen, man, it ain't much to say that everybody ain't already said. Ty, my brother, it was a great season. I will say, y'all surpassed my expectation. Y'all exceeded my expectation of what I thought that y'all would be when y'all got to the college football playoff. Here's the thing that I also want to say. This is the part that I haven't heard from nobody. Listen, Miami being good is better for college football. I am glad that y'all made a college football championship. I am glad that y'all made the national championship. I'm even gladder that y'all lost the national championship. But it's good that y'all are back. I'm glad that y'all are back because Miami being back is great for college football. I just didn't want y'all to win. Kurt Signetti, stamp it. Best coach in college football right now. I don't care what nobody say. Kurt Signetti is stamped.
I don't think it's a debate right now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't care what nobody say. Kurt Signetti is stamped as the best coach in college football. Now, here's where things get interesting on the part of Coach Signetti. Kurt, when all of Kurt Signetti's players go, all of the ones that he was able to bring with him, that's where it gets interesting because he's had these guys for so long. He has been able to instill his values in these guys from the time that they were at JMU to now. This has been an ongoing process for the past 4 or 5 years for some of these guys. And so when you get to add a few pieces in there, when you get to add the Fernando Mendozas in there to the core guys that you've already had, I think that's great, but it gets more interesting when your guys are gone and now you have to, you know what I'm saying? Will it take you every 4 or 5 years to put a stamp on this thing, or you know what I'm saying? Will you be able to run it back with some new guys? I think that's what's going to be interesting about Coach Signetti and what we see from him out of the next year or two. But nonetheless, putting Indiana in college football contention is insane. We never thought that this would happen. We never thought that we would see this. And the fact that he was able to pull it off, I mean, just major props to him. Major props to him. 2 years. 2 years in Indiana, and he had a great team last year, which probably enough people didn't talk about, and ran the table this year, 15-0 en route to a national championship. That's insane levels of coaching. That is insane levels of coaching.
One thing I want to say though about that game, because we were watching, like, do we believe that Miami wins that game if that block punt don't happen? Because the energy shift was just like at an all-time high up to that point.
I would have still struggled to listen. I would have still struggled to say Miami would have won that game. For me personally, because you still you would still need. There will be no slander allowed. This guy. Anyways. No, I think it would have been tough I think it still would have been tough for them to win that game. The offense just didn't do what it was supposed to do all night. It had spurts, it had splashes, it had flashes of it looking like the potent offense that it was for most of the season, but just I think Kurt Cignetti's defense had a great plan tonight. And I think Fernando Mendoza would have made another play if need be. I just you wonder how many more plays Carson Beck could have made and how many more plays Fernando Mendoza could have made, and I would have put my money on Fernando Mendoza to make more plays at the end of the game.
I'm glad you said that about Mendoza making that play. Did that rushing touchdown save his night?
Save it?
Like if you were to remove that rushing touchdown from his night, like the night was what to you?
This is the problem. Like, this is what we talked about last night. Like, what you expect and what you want people to do in championship games or in playoff games is 9 times out of 10 not what actually happens. Like, that's why it's so crazy when you see Trinidad Chambers go and do what he did in the playoffs, right? Because true playoff risers are few and far between. That just doesn't happen. But guys that make enough plays, and this goes back to the original to the overarching conversation. This goes back to the overarching conversation that we've been having all postseason, NFL and college football. Just because your quarterback isn't, you know what I'm saying, isn't a top 5 quarterback doesn't mean that he's terrible. And a lot of times those top 5 quarterbacks aren't the ones that get the job done at the end of the game, right? Like, you don't need Fernando Mendoza to be 400 yards and 4 tuds for this to be a great night for him. You need him. You literally said in the group chat, you said you need him to not turn the ball over, and he didn't.
And that's why I'm asking. That's what I'm asking you.
So what do you mean by save his night? That rushing touchdown didn't save his night. It stamped his night.
When you think of when we think of guys when they leave, they close their career in college, right?
Yeah.
When you're the number 1 pick in the NFL draft, what are you considered as far as?
But here's the problem. Here's the problem with your statement.
It was just asking. It was just a question.
No. I'm not saying it's literally your problem. What I'm saying is the problem with the statement at hand is we already know what this draft and what this Heisman race and what this class of quarterbacks is. So him being the number 1 draft pick and you asking, what do I expect my number 1 draft pick to look like coming out of college? We already know that he's not like the number 1 draft pick that you expect every year or the Heisman that you expect on a year in and year out basis. If this is what your Heisman looks like every year or your number 1 draft pick looks like every year, I can promise you we won't just be drafting quarterbacks number 1 just to say we did it for a long time. There's a reason that these reports are starting to come out that the Raiders may make a hard play at Lamar Jackson. I don't know if you've seen those, but folks not, you know what I'm saying? Folks not
wild.
Yeah, folks not wild and excited about Fernando Mendoza. And that's not to say that he's a terrible quarterback, but the question being, what do I expect from my number 1 quarterback? Like, I'm not expecting him to go out there and give me 403 tuds anyway. Like, that was never what I would have came into.
It was
this
just
game
a question to some of those because the same way how you say how we like it was a bad, like not bad, but not to the standard that we're used to as far as the Heisman and the number 1 pick.
Mm-hmm.
There's also that side of the world that have been talking about it where though they're like Mendoza special, like he's like I've talked to a few people. And pretty sure y'all wouldn't agree either. Like, this is what I mean when I say, like, when you think something's crazy, there's always people that think what you think is crazy. That's how they think. But I talked to somebody and they said that Mendoza is the best quarterback in the NFL draft in the last 2 seasons. So the fact, like, when I speak to somebody and they say that, and then I speak to other people and I have a few others that also think that makes me say in my brain, it got to be more people in the world that think like this. If I've encountered a few people, like more than I thought I would, it got to be more people in the world that think like this. So it's like when I run into people that think like that, I think those are the things that make me say the things like far as what we expect from a first round number one pick in the Heisman, even though us personally on here aren't expecting that from Mendoza. But like it just shows that a lot of people in the world, they like think that he's at that standard. So that's kind of why I was holding him to that standard in a way, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I get it. Ty, what'd you see from Indiana? What'd you like? What'd you not like?
What I think was important for them, especially offensively, anytime there was a 50-50 ball, Indiana receivers made the play. I think, to be honest, that was the difference for them. Like even on the late third down when he threw the backside to Charlie, it wasn't a great ball. He made the play for the ball and came down with it. We had Marion on a deep ball and he dropped it. Like those high level plays matter, and we didn't make enough of those. Indiana did, but they ain't do nothing, I think, differently we seen all year. Like Mendoza didn't turn the ball over. I thought up front they played a good game. Like they weren't great, but like they did enough up there. And like we still, when two good groups, both of them gonna make plays. But like I say, Indiana did what they needed to do to get the win. And I think Mendoza rose to the challenge when he needed to. So it's whatever. I can't be mad, bro. Losing to the best team in college football. It's only so much hate in my heart I can hold. It's only so much hate in my heart I can hold. I can't even be mad. Like I say, when it came down to it, we needed to make plays and they didn't. And it's always gonna be a maker. In any league, really, it's a make or miss. You got to make the plays if you want to be around. You want to be remembered. So it is what it is. Great. Like I say, you got to give respect to Indiana. I think this season earned them the respect. Like, I think some of us was on it early, but I think now everybody's is going to acknowledge what's going on over there.
Yeah. Jay, Indiana.
I think one thing about Cincinnati, he did something that Cristobal should have did. And he was aggressive on fourth down. He went for on fourth down.
That's a great point to make.
Because on the key deciding factor was them not scoring points in the first half. I think the 4th and 5 situation, and Cristobal decided to kick, and the kicker missed. You end up.
It wasn't even 4th and 5; it was 4th and 2.
Yeah, it was 4th and 2, and then you decide to kick, and he misses. And that moment, in my eyes, you're playing for a national championship. It's either you lift up the trophy or you're soaking in the locker room. And I feel as though in a place like this, in a time like this, where you have the whole city behind you and everyone college football is saying Miami's back, Miami's this, Miami that, you have to capitalize in the moment. I think Cincinnati did a better job of capitalizing in the moment, and his players made plays when it mattered, because we saw Charlie Becker go out, and I think he didn't even have a drop this season and catch every back shoulder throw. Fernando Mendoza. Everyone says a lot of things about Fernando Mendoza, but one thing about it, his timing, his IQ, and his toughness, something you just got to appreciate, because he plays the game hard. He plays the game the right way. He doesn't go for the glitz and glamour. He just wants to win. He plays winning football. At the end of the day, the game for football is to win. You want to score more points than your opponent, and he's done that consistently. And going undefeated and winning and holding up a trophy, I can't take no credit away. But one thing about it, the comparison of them being like an all-time great team, we got to stop that. That's all I'm going to say. They're a very good national championship team, but being an all-time great, no, we're not going to do that.
B.
I'm with Ty.
Shout out Rock man. Shout out Hunt, man. Shout out Rock Rack. Shout out EDE. Shout out Everyday Entertainment. Go ahead, B.
Well, more so, I would say I agree with Jay. Like, we gotta give them their respect. They showed up. Chris Ignati had a well-coached team. Like you said, when they brought some guys from JMU, he developed that into a lot of his guys, and they just simply played winning football. But to the last point, what you said, Jay, about them not being an all-time team. That's one of the biggest reasons I've got a little bit of hate talking about this Indiana team. And it's no knock to Kirk Cignetti. It's actually a smart thing to do. But it's just like when you look at the experience that Indiana football team have, and what I mean by that is like how old everyone is on that team. That's crazy. Like I think they were the oldest P4 team in the country this season. And whether people like it or not, this isn't like any other sport, whereas though you can just leave college at your first year. Like there's a reason why you have to do a minimum 3 years in football, and that's because at the end of the day, it's a grown man sport. You have to let yourself develop. And Kirk Cignetti, like I said, I'll tip my hat to him. Very smart playing. You got a lot more age vets, 23-year-olds and whatnot, that's been playing high level ball. Went out there when they got the right camaraderie and everything as a team. That was just the icing on the cake. So for it to be a dominant season, we haven't seen many seasons like this. But to your point, Jay, as you said, we definitely can't get ahead of ourselves and say all-time team, even though they were undefeated. I understand that, but just not ready to be in that conversation, in my opinion.
So, I think we got to bring back this conversation we was having on text in the chat before this. Is Malachi Tony going to be a top 10 pick? Top?
No, bro. And he a dog for sure, but at the end of the day, bro, politics are politics in the league, bro. There's a certain size and standard that you gotta and criteria you gotta meet to be considered to be that high. Like as much as talented as much of talent he has and how talented he's gonna be by the time he declares for the draft, it's not gonna overcome his size and stature. Like it's just what it is. So top 10 pick is a stretch. I can't personally see that happening. Could he be a first-round pick, a late first-round pick? It's a possibility, but I think he's probably a second-round, third-round pick, depending on his junior year when he declares, if he decides to clear it on his junior year. But depending on how that goes, he probably falls somewhere in there, but whoever gets him is going to get a steal because he's versatile, and I think you can do a lot of different things with him. And I think that's going to appeal to a lot of different coordinators in the league. So we're going to see.
Jay.
I just looked up the 2028 NFL draft class, and like for right now, if they were to do a draft right now, he'll go top 10. But having 2 years from now, probably not, because Smitty won the Heisman. He went 10, right?
Something like that.
Yeah, he went 10, and people were like saying like I don't know about that, but I think that Malachi Tony, I think he can be a top 10 talent player in that draft class, but I don't think he'll go top 10. I think he'll go like 11 or 12, like right outside.
B.
The thing, the NFL draft isn't the draft of freshmen. Because, as you said, if that was the case, you would have an argument. But there's a reason why they have to play 3 entire seasons and let everything play out. By the time the 2028 draft comes, I don't even think he's the best receiver in the class. One of my favorite receivers coming out, I think Decorian Moore, as far as talent-wise, clears Malachi Tony. That's just me. And as far as when you look at NFL talent-wise and everything, anybody if you know Decorian Moore, then you know who he is. But when you look at NFL talent and what you look for, Decorian Moore, he isn't the biggest receiver at all. And I expect him to be in that top 10 when that time comes. Ryan Williams also, maybe. But I wouldn't be surprised if they aren't. But like you said, when the time comes, we just got to see how they look at that time. Because there's a lot of guys we didn't know about as freshmen that when the draft time came, they were top picks. There's a lot of guys we knew early that performed and they faded. So we just got to wait and see how these last 2 years play out. I don't believe he'll be top 10, though.
He got a chance in my eyes. He got a chance.
You got a chance, bro. It's real slim, though. Like he has to produce at this level or better for the next 2 years to be even considered to be a top 10 pick. And then his draft measurables have to be insane. Like I'm talking about his 40, his shuttle,
his shuttle,
bench.
everything.
His bench is gonna have to be looked at.
As an
All of those
undersized
things.
guy, he's going to get
all of
about
those
15
things.
on there.
Yeah, like all of those things that as an undersized guy that really make your case matter. Because what we know about the game of football in college and NFL is just so much different. Like a guy in Malachi Tony who can thrive in a system, in an environment like the one that they've created in Miami, it works. But the reason that you can say other guys you think will work out better, their ceiling may be higher in the NFL is just simply because when you look at other guys from a size and in a physical nature standpoint, they just tend to last longer. They tend to be able to do more. Offensive coordinators tend to be able to do more with them. And I think Malachi Tony is more than just a slot receiver, but I think he'll have to prove his skill set will have to grow each year. Can he win on the outside? Can he win on the outside and it not just be a screen with 3 guys blocking for him? Like right now, what we're seeing from Malachi Tony is a lot of tunnel screens, a lot of swing screens, a lot of bubble screens. Malachi Tony's skill set right now is not being a true wide receiver. It's being, I don't want to call him a gadget guy. That feels like a understatement for a guy like him that's produced as much as him. He had 99 catches, but when you look at 99 catches, his 99 catches is different from somebody else's, you know what I'm saying, 70 catches, 48 catches, 50 catches. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a lot of those are handoffs. A lot of those, that's his run game. You know what I'm saying? That's part of Miami's run game.
Pure receiver get 99. That's almost 2K normally in college. Or something like that normally.
But that's not to say that Malachi Tony can't improve. I think that's why. I think the best thing B said was that's why it's not a draft of freshmen. That's why you can't draft freshmen. He can improve. Hell, he's only 18. He might grow 2-3 more inches on you. You never know. You just never know what can happen.
Different
you know
conversation then.
Yeah, different. Malachi Tony grow a little bit. You grow 2-3 more inches, you having a totally different conversation.
Another one too. Schmitty went 10. Schmitty went 10. And the last guy,
and you know what the conversation was about his size, and he had to go and win a Heisman.
I was about to say before him, the only other guy that was smaller that same draft, Jalen Waddle went 6.
But even them two, they were smaller in weight. Like Smitty's conversation was that
Jalen Waddle was 5'10".
But I'm saying Smitty's conversation was his weight. It was never his height. His weight was. His weight. Smitty looked like he was 110 soaking wet in a tornado storm with a wetsuit on. Like you can't you know what I'm saying? You can't make up
Schmitty look like Ryan? Do Ryan look like Schmitty on the field? Like
in a way, he ain't. Smitty.
We're talking about their physicals. They look very similar.
Think Ryan Williams looks bigger than Smitty?
No.
That's what he's asking. He's not talking about his.
I'm not talking about their performance.
Size. You think Ryan Williams?
Talking about size? No, they look the same.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what he's saying.
You're insane for even thinking otherwise.
No,
we're not talking about no talent conversation.
Well, I was about to say B.
What is wrong?
No. But yeah,
I don't think you can get to that level of nasty. That's crazy.
Yeah, so I think it's tough. It's just gonna be tough for Malachi Tony.
For sure.
Where do both programs go from here? I'll start with you, B. Where does Indiana go from here? Where does Miami go from here?
I believe that Indiana will continue to do what they're doing. I believe Cincinnati is gonna go out, go in the portal, and look for a lot of upperclassmen. Like he's kind of written the blueprint of the best way to go about winning football in this new era coming up, as you would say, of having more developed players, if that makes sense, as far as getting guys a little bit older. Cincinnati, he kind of gave a blueprint for that this year. So I think that they'll continue to try to keep the guys that they did have with this Indiana football program, may continue to keep most of them, because if there's one thing we know, a lot of these players, when you win a national championship coming back, you want to be there again. Everybody's getting paid, so it would have to be an insane amount of money for them to leave a national championship team. But I think Kurt Nagy is going to continue to remain with the older players on this team.
Jay,
I think for Miami, find another QB. Literally just find another QB. Mark Fletcher said he was coming back. Malachi told me he's only a freshman. I think Miami was going after Duke's quarterback, Darren Mensah, but that's a whole bunch of legal things they gotta get through. Like, I think they have to buy out his contract and give the money to Duke, and then for the package that they're giving Mensah to even enter the transfer portal, because Mensah entered the transfer portal with like 4 hours left, and everyone said he was going to Miami. They was giving him country club housing, his sister scholarship and NIL money because she plays soccer at Oregon, and like it was like 10 mil, like because he was already getting paid like 4.5 from Duke, so that's like buying out his contract 4.5 and then paying him 5. So yeah, but for I think Miami just find another quarterback. I think find another quarterback and just retool. I think Indiana's doing the same thing, but Indiana, like B said, Cincinnati has a blueprint. He wants 2 to 3 year starter guys, older guys, want to come and contribute right away, because he doesn't want to have to develop as much as another coach would with high school recruiting. I think he just wants to come in and get older guys and get guys who's been starters. I think that he did good as transfer portal, and plus you got Mark Cuban now. Mark Cuban behind the ride. He already said he's giving donations.
Mark Cuban bankrolling your program is just diabolical.
We got breaking news. We got breaking news, fellas.
What?
Robert Saleh is the head coach for the Tennessee Titans.
What? What?
Hold on.
That's big.
What?
You might be cooking. That's
Hold
big.
on. That's not bad.
That's
What?
great. That's big. That's big.
I can get behind that.
I love that. I love that. I love that, bro. Oh, just came out.
That's not.
I ain't gonna lie. I can get behind that.
Oh, that's tough. What we thinking?
I ain't gonna lie to you. My first thought is earlier today, you heard me in the group chat, or you seen me in the group chat say that I thought that they was cooked when the Bills fired Sean McDermott. I genuinely thought the Titans were cooked, but Robert Saleh is a hell of a pickup for the Tennessee Titans. Brian Daboll we know he's going to Buffalo. He's going to reunite with his best friend. He's a Buffalo native, you know what I'm saying? All that good stuff. So we know he's going to Buffalo. And I genuinely thought, and it was weird because the reports was coming out that they had went and visited Mike McCarthy in Green Bay. Mike McCarthy then came to Tennessee to visit them, and now Robert Saleh.
I ain't gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. With your organization going to get Cam Ward the year before, and y'all go get Robert Saleh as your head coach, if Robert Saleh goes out and gets a decent OC, Tennessee might have something brewing over there.
That's not bad at all.
Because we know he's gonna be the play caller for defense. They might got something brewing over there if he go get a decent OC. I'm loving that. I'm loving that pickup right there. That definitely threw me off guard. I didn't expect that at all. Like,
nah, that's good news, B.
I didn't expect that at all in the slightest.
That's tough.
Yeah, that's gonna be
these next few weeks gonna be good. There's still a few positions open, right?
Good for him, bro. Good for him.
The DCs, are we coming with the DC trend? I'm a bit upset, but Jeff Hafley, he's the Miami Dolphins head coach now. I'm a bit upset, but they might be arguably the 2 best defensive play callers in the league, and he just got 2 head coaching jobs. So it's like, I think Jeff Hafley's trying to go get. I think this might be crazy, Jay. I think Jeff Hafley, they might be ready to let Tua walk and go get Malik Willis. Just saying.
That's not crazy, bro. Folks stop believing in Tua after
somebody
you can't let him walk. You got to wait another year. He still got. He still got. He
That
still
kill
got.
gonna be
Well, you
insane.
gonna sit him down because it's a few teams that's looking for Malik real bad after these 2 years he played with us and seeing
Okay.
he's
Okay,
developed.
but like, hear me out though. Who goes to Pittsburgh and Baltimore?
Well, as coaches,
Yeah, because those two.
McCarthy. If they still not ready for Will Howard, McCarthy goes to Pittsburgh. Flores goes to Baltimore.
I'm hoping that's not true.
yeah, because I'm ready. I'm ready for Pittsburgh to give Will a chance.
And I don't think they're
And
gonna
I don't think they ready yet. I don't think they think he's ready.
Yeah,
Which means
Yeah.
I think
foundation.
McCarthy. I think McCarthy goes, and that's the only way that you have even the slightest chance of retaining Aaron Rodgers for one more year to let Will Howard keep going.
Nah,
But
Rodgers ain't.
That's the only way they think they have a chance. I know what you're saying. I know that's what
I want
but that's
people
what
to
they think.
understand that Rodgers, if they get McCarthy, Rodgers definitely hanging it up. And no more time needed.
So Bills, Steelers, Ravens, Browns, Cardinals, Raiders. Six more head coaching landing spots.
Cam Ward with Jeff Hafley.
Who's top three? Who's like
Cam Ward? No, Cam Ward got Robert Saleh.
Robert Saleh. My bad.
Yeah,
I really want Jeff Hafley to go get Malik Willis, bring him with him from Green Bay.
What was your question, Jay?
We'll be like the top three coaching spots in y'all lives. Like, what's
top three?
Ravens.
Yeah, Ravens, Bills, Steelers.
Yeah,
Ravens, Bills, Steelers.
Yeah, probably.
I believe so. Ravens, Bills, Steelers. And it depends on now from a coaching standpoint. That Steelers job to me would be the most enticing. That Steelers job to me would be the most enticing. You there 20 years if you want it.
I'm gonna say
there as long as you want it.
Yes, bro.
Yeah, you can just see the cycle. They don't do the getting rid of a coach after a couple years. I think they didn't have 4 coaches in the past like 70 years.
They did that in like the whole team's existence.
Yeah,
bro. Oh my god, because I know our offensive coordinator is gonna get gone. Clint Kubiak, I think.
Yeah, Clint's gone. Soon as, and I think that's what a lot of people is holding out for to see.
If that's the case, then who would we think he's going? Because there's no question if he's gone, he's gonna get a head coach interview.
Nah, he's been getting interviewed. He's been getting interviewed by everybody. Everybody been requesting to interview him.
It's gonna be interesting.
I can see him. I can see him with the Raiders.
Because I'm just saying, like the Dolphins, they didn't interview anybody else after Jeff Hafley. They said they knew they had their guy. They didn't interview anybody else.
Yeah, but I can see him with the Raiders because you got Bowers, you still got Gentry, then you got the first pick. You go get your guy Mendoza. That's
Geno making that look nasty. That offense is great. Geno made that look.
That line's terrible.
Yeah, that's what you need to build for the draft for sure.
But the thing is though, I think if you sign like 2 decent old linemen, like 2 vets, and coach up that room, I think they can be from worse like mid. I feel like they got a chance to like not make noise but make progress in the right direction.
I gotta ask you then, though, Jay. Would it be a bad move? So the Raiders got what, second pick or first?
Raiders got
first, yeah.
First. They got 1.
So hear me out on this, right?
TB12 was at the game, bro.
Hear me out on this, Cole. Ty, Jay, hear me out on this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Would it be crazy? First pick. Trade away your first pick. You trade away your first pick for potentially a top 5, 6 pick still while getting another pick also. Use that top 5 to 6 pick to get an old lineman because that's your biggest need. You don't need any weapons. Use that for an offensive lineman. Use your next pick for maybe another offensive lineman, or you can go defense right there and potentially try to go get a quarterback out of free agency like Malik Willis or something.
I think what they did for the Raiders, they set up to draft a quarterback because they signed Geno to 3 years. I think you would draft the quarterback now. But I see what you're saying. I see what your vision like. Go back and get depth and get quality over get quality prospects, get quality guys within the young guys within the locker room. But I think you just take Mendoza, bro.
Because I like Malik with them weapons. I don't like Mendoza with Genty Bowers and them guys. I'm just be honest.
It's a lot to go into it, I think.
Yeah.
I don't think it's
And they going to have to go hard in free agency for
because everybody's
quarterback.
searching for a franchise guy, bro. I think that's what it boils down to. And like, if they felt so strongly about Willis, they had the opportunity to go get him before. When you got Mendoza sitting there, if you feel like he that guy, you not trading out that pick. So we gonna see what happens, bro. We still got months. You gonna have the pro day, the combine. They gonna talk to him, all that good stuff. But
boy, them pro days, bro, they'll fool you, bro. They'll fool you. Zach Wilson, prime example.
If I'm gonna be honest, it's a Pete Carroll thing also, because I remember Pete Carroll, I forget his names, but there's an old lineman that the Raiders have, and he did a lot better when he was playing. I think when he was playing guard, but Pete Carroll said that he was making him stay at center. Like, he's been known as a guard for his whole career. He was like a top tier guard in the league and in college. But Pete Carroll just
but the thing is though, the Raiders got 80-something million cap, so they go. Hey, if they want to
make some moves,
they gonna throw it back. I ain't gonna.
How much we think Tom about to have an impact in this offseason?
Bro, he's gonna have a crazy impact. Like, if he's showing up to the national championship game, that means he's literally like, he probably, after he commentates game, he probably got a draft board and he talking to the people within the front office. I think he has a pretty good hand, like a pretty like strong voice in that room on how things are going.
Cole, Todd, how much y'all think Brady gonna have his hand in this offseason?
Yeah, I just don't think you're gonna get. I just don't think you're gonna get a guy like Tom Brady to not allow him to have a hand in the things that you're doing. And if you trust him, if you trust anybody, that's a guy that I would trust, right? Like, you got to give him a shot. At least allow him to make the decision on what you do with your quarterback. I would go and present him a bunch of different options. I would go and present him that option of trading that first pick back to somebody that really wants a quarterback, to then, you know what I'm saying, go and try to get a guy. Can you work up a trade package that you think gets you a guy like Lamar Jackson? Does he think that Fernando Mendoza is an NFL ready quarterback? If anybody was to be liable to think that Fernando Mendoza is an NFL quarterback, I could see it being Tom Brady. And I ain't saying Fernando Mendoza looks like Tom Brady or that he's going to turn into Tom Brady or any of those things. Please don't get that wrong. But what I am saying is when you look at a guy in Fernando Mendoza who's methodical, who's not the most athletic, who's not the most, you know what I'm saying, any of those things, but you look at him and you say, you know what, he's a gamer, and he's probably going to be one of the smartest quarterbacks on your roster at all times. Fernando Mendoza at some point would probably make either a great coach or a hell of a finance manager. I'm not sure which one he wants to be. He's probably leaning more towards the finance manager. But if he wanted to get into a coaching career, I think that he could. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that he could. Nonetheless, though, if he wants to try his hand at professional football, by all means, I think Tom Brady would probably be a guy that supports that. Tom Brady doesn't seem like a guy that thinks that you need. While he respects the talents of Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson and all of those guys, Tom Brady probably isn't the guy that's going to tell you, "Hey, we're looking for the next Lamar Jackson or Josh Allen." Tom Brady's going to tell you, "No, I'm looking for the smartest guy in the room whenever he walks in the room," and that would be Fernando Mendoza. So I could see Tom Brady going any way with this. Like, you could present him a package of trades and be like, "Hey, what do you think if we use this to go and trade for such and such?" He would probably be okay with that. You could also present him, "Hey, I want to use this first pick to go and get Fernando Mendoza," and he would probably give you a good reason as to why or why not that shouldn't happen. So I don't know. But nonetheless, you go and get a guy like Tom Brady to be in your front office, you should give him a chance to make that decision. I would, at least.
I see y'all. I can tell y'all see how I feel about Malik. We think he's going to be added to that list of them top 3 quarterback picks that rejuvenate his career.
Does he need a rejuvenation of his career? I don't know that he needs a rejuvenation of his career. His career never really started. From
what it started, we see obviously it had to be in Tennessee that was a problem because it looks like day and night since he's left Tennessee and came to play for us. But it's like he was a top 3 pick, and he got traded during his rookie contract as a top 3 pick. So it was like, we don't really see that. We don't really see that happen during your rookie contract.
Who was his coach? Vrabel at the time, and Vrabel wanted to go with Vrabel clearly wanted to go with what was the other dude?
Levis.
Huh?
Levis.
Yes, Will Levis. He clearly that's the difference, right? Like you've seen a lot of guys get to play out or not play out, but like truly get a real shot at their rookie contract. Do we really think Malik Willis got a real shot to prove that he was or was not the guy? I don't think it was
we think it was self-sabotage because it was to the point like he was barely getting 80 passing yards in a game. Like it was. Can I be honest with you? Can I be honest with you?
What to me what Drake May is, I think Vrabel really thought that Will Levis was gonna be that guy. Like I think if we being totally honest, like, and I ain't saying that clearly he was wrong, but what I am saying is I think that when Mike Vrabel looked at his quarterback room, he thought that Will Levis was going to be his guy.
I think that's back to your point, what you said about Brady, about having the smartest guy in the room, because a lot of people, unless you're really a deep football guy, would know like Will Levis probably has top 5 strongest arms in the whole league. But it's like when you watch him play, it's like it's like the developing and the timing in his brain is just not to the standard of what you would look for. And I can give credit when credit is due. Drake May, I think he's already shown his processing and everything is definitely at that level potentially where it can be up there with some of the greats. But Will Levis, I think that's the one thing that he was lacking, and that's what most quarterbacks lack early on in their career. The processing part, which is why we see rejuvenations a lot. After a few years in, their processing starts to kick in for him.
Project too, though. Like I don't think he was a polished quarterback coming out the draft. I thought you drafted him based on potential, and like if you won't go develop him, then I don't know if that was the right pick at the time for them. Like obviously we can tell it wasn't now, but I didn't like them drafting Malik and then drafting Levis as well. I don't think 2 young quarterbacks competing together is a good situation for neither one of them. It's the same thing in Cleveland we saw this year. But I think like I said, I think Malik was a project and he needed to develop, and they went on that time. Like they didn't feel they had at the time to develop him, so that led it to him getting traded. And at the time, Levis was playing better, so they probably felt like we're going to go all in on him and we're going to let Malik go somewhere else and do whatever. And now we see that really wasn't the best option for neither one. We see how Malik's look now, and then Levis was hurt this year, but you saw before he got hurt that what I thought he was in college, he's turnover, you know what I'm saying? He's a gunslinger. He's going to turn the ball over. He's going to try to make big throws and tight windows. And everybody ain't got the necessarily arm talent to do that. He has the arm strength. I don't know if he has that type of arm talent to do that. And I think that kind of hurt him when he was playing last year. And now they got Cam Moore. So now his career is like, who knows what's going to happen to him? So whatever. But now I think Tennessee can firmly say they have a quarterback. Now they just hired Salah. So like you moving in the right direction. So now you add some weapons to that offense. Like you say, I ain't gonna say they're gonna make noise, but they gonna definitely make a step in the right direction next year if they can add some talent to that offense.
Yeah, facts.
What we seen these 2 years with Malik, do we think it's 32 quarterbacks better than him? What we seen these 2 seasons with him in Green Bay?
32.
Because what I've seen, what I've seen from him in these 2 seasons in Green Bay, that's a top 20 quarterback.
20.
I need to see the bigger sample size.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
Like yeah, bro, just go out there, bro, really go out there and play cleanup crew. I'm not gonna lie. And what you tell me is that LaFleur is a top 5 play caller in the league. I also believe that LaFleur is really smart and he puts his quarterback in the best positions possible. And that's also one of the situations in the league where you look at the backup quarterback. This is what we talk about when we're talking about the Ravens, right? Like, why the hell did the Ravens go and get Cooper Rush, right? Like, what good sense did that make? It made no sense to anybody in the football world that watches the Ravens play, and you go and watch Lamar Jackson, and then they go and get Cooper Rush. You're like, bro, like it don't even fit what they're trying to do, right?
But I think that's why you asked that question.
But I think you go and watch Green Bay play, and you're like, bro, like Malik Willis genuinely looks like
he don't look like a backup that comes in to just hold down the fort or manage
everything. No, he looks like a guy that genuinely, because he's the same type. I'm not saying they're the same guy, but I'm saying he's the same type of quarterback as Jordan Love. So I mean, obviously, you can have debates about Jordan Love's throwing prowess in comparison to Malik Willis, sure. But when you look at their play style, it doesn't falter in a way that's like, when Malik Willis comes in, you're like, nah, bro, I don't know why he's their backup quarterback. No, like Matt LaFleur can genuinely go out there and call most of the same stuff that he calls with Malik Willis, and then add in some quarterback runs in there, some genuine quarterback runs, not some takeoffs, but some genuine quarterback runs. He can throw those in for Malik Willis as well. But I think Malik Willis is still going to need some. I think he's still going to need a good OC or a play caller, whoever it is, whether it's their head coach or OC, wherever he falls to or lands at. I think he's still going to need a good OC, and I think he needs somewhat of an established offense where everybody knows their role. I'm not saying you can plug anybody into that Green Bay offense at quarterback, but what I am saying is everybody kind of knows their role, and it kind of makes a difference when I think what helps a backup quarterback is one of the things that you really hate about Green Bay. One of the things that you hate the most about Green Bay is that you all don't have a solidified number one. Being a backup quarterback, you know how tough it is to go out there and be like, man, I know I got to get the ball to Justin Jefferson. I know I got to get the ball to CeeDee Lamb. I know I got to get the ball to such and such. In a Green Bay situation, you like, I don't care who the ball get to.
Well, I think Malik's situation is the prime example. I think people should look at for Matt LaFleur of why he's a top play caller, considering like how much Malik a game elevated when he got here underneath him, and then also the simple fact that when you watch Malik play, like you don't like we said, why did the Ravens get Cooper Rush? Like they have Tyler Huntley. He's real close with Lamar. They play the same way. It's just he's not at that level. When we watch Malik Willis, well, us as Packers fans, when we watch Malik Willis and regular fans, I feel as though it's rare for you to see a backup come in and genuinely have a good amount of fans. Like he could be the starter. Like he plays to the level when he came in the game for these 2 seasons with us that you genuinely had people say, why he could be the starter? Why he not starting? All this, like when we watched the Ravens play the Packers, when Derrick Henry just ran all over us to end the year, people said it was a QB shootout. It wasn't a QB shootout. Tyler Huntley went out there and did what his job was to be as a backup, not turn the ball over, keeping sure that the Ravens do their job. Matt LaFleur genuinely went out there. We ran the ball 2 times the entire game. He genuinely said, "Go out here and do your thing." And he went out there, and that was one of the best performances I've seen from a quarterback all season, starter or backup. So I think that's some of the things you should look at. It was like somebody got to go get him.
Yeah, but it's like for younger QBs, it's 3 things: it's culture, system, and patience. I think first off, you have to have patience with your young quarterback, because every young quarterback is not going to be a finished product. Every young quarterback is not going to be an MVP from day one. They need time and patience. Like we seen with Caleb Williams, his first year, he didn't look so hot. He had potential, but guys, we gave him patience, and then look at year 2, we saw a jump. System, some guys are just in the wrong system. Like let's just call a spade a spade. Some guys, like you said, Malik Willis in Tennessee probably wasn't the best system for him, because they asked him to do a lot, and at the time he couldn't process, he couldn't do that much for him to succeed. Now he went to Green Bay. You have a great play caller and Matt LaFleur. He sees what Jordan Love does every day. What they're asking him for him to do, it's not too much. Now he's been in the league for a couple of seasons. He knows what he is, and he knows what he's capable of. Then culture. Culture is the biggest thing. Because if you're sending a 21-year-old quarterback to Miami, brother, he's going to be distracted. If you're in Green Bay, it's nothing but snow and football. All them players are married, and they like 23, 24, and all them married or engaged. They always say, "Oh, ain't nothing doing Green Bay except for play football and get married and hang out."
Yeah,
with your
Micah already in that mindset down here.
Yeah, so it's like,
then
yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's like culture is a big thing. I think that fan bases can be toxic, but what's inside of that building, that what makes a player have the capability to be special. Because in New England, we saw Tom Brady, young quarterback, patience, time. He got thrown into a fire, but as time went along, we saw him develop. We saw him become a master at his craft. Then we see the Patriots have a great culture now. Now we see what Drake made. Year one wasn't so hot. Fired Gerard Mayo, gave him a new culture, new system with Braves, and now he's arguably an MVP frontrunner.
Do we all agree on that?
What?
Like, I think Brady said something about it a while ago. The NFL, the worst thing about the NFL now is expecting the quarterback to come in on the worst team in the league and win ASAP.
You don't develop quarterbacks no more, bro.
No, bro. Like it's bad. Like a quarterback coming in rookie season. Like people are calling Cam Ward a bust his first 8 games of his career. Brother,
Caleb Williams.
Anybody that watched Cam Ward,
Williams.
Anybody that watched Cam Ward have seen, like, yeah, that's their guy. No matter how bad the team looked, like they're like, yeah, Tennessee got their guy.
But his last 8 games, he had a great completion rate. I think it was north of 68%. He threw for over 2K. And
he was one of the best performing quarterbacks the second half of the season. They got their guy for sure.
Yeah, but it's like for what young quarterbacks need, they need an X2. They need a security blanket, whether it's a tight end or a star wide receiver. Because if not, it's gonna be tough. But
we'll see.
They're gonna figure it out.
For sure.
Golden BR.
We've been on here 58 minutes. Got a couple viewers in the chat, man. Appreciate everybody coming out. Appreciate everybody showing up.
Quick.
Got 5 minutes left. I'll give us to 12:30. Last takes. College football season.
That was a quick hour.
Yeah. Last take college football season. Ty, go ahead.
Miami had one job. One job.
There it is.
One job.
That's the time we need.
I done messed up the setup and all. Yeah, one job, bro. One job. And what's funny, as a fan, you always holding out hope. One score. They gonna make a play here. They gonna make a play there. We gonna turn the tide. I'm begging them to get off the field on third down. Begging. What are we doing?
If you stayed to view the show this long, this what we were waiting for.
This what you've been waiting on right here.
And then, reliable Carson Beck. What he gonna do in the biggest moments? What he gonna do?
He did what you know him to do.
We got the PR tie early on. Now we get the real.
That is true. It won't PR. Parts of that is really how I feel. But however, when we got the quarterback, bro, and when it's time to pick them big boy pants on, I need my quarterback to put them on. And Carson Beck today, they won't on. When we play Ole Miss, he had them on. He had him on the last drive. This drive today, it won't dare. It just won't dare. It just won't dare.
He just said, "Give me."
For me,
he just said, "Give me that."
Him most, he vanished, just like the Avatar.
AJ, Cole, what he do? I think Carson Beck just did the biggest fleece of $4 million I ever seen in one season.
Hey,
Just give me my money.
he don't even gotta go league. He don't even gotta go league. He cool. He cool. He cool.
He cool.
Jay,
he
what you
just
got,
took
bro?
4 mil from y'all.
Jay, last take it college football season, bro. Go ahead.
I think this was one of the more entertaining college football season that we had in a very long time. Had a Cinderella story with Indiana coming out top undefeated season. Miami, the last pick in the playoff, if we're being honest, to making a championship. I think this season was a season to remember because we see the top dogs falling off, and now I really believe the SEC has fallen off, and the Big Ten has arose to take that top spot in college football. And I think that next year's NFL draft class will probably be the best draft class in the past decade. That's my stamp on it.
Past decade? That's a bold statement.
And you don't got no quarterback you believe in, but it's gonna be the best draft class.
Are you talking about 2027 or this one coming up?
2027.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Now we
B,
talk
go
about
ahead.
so because
B, go ahead.
man, Miami, like I'm so glad I got to see that, Ty. Thank you. I'm so glad I got to see that. Thank you. Miami, man. I'm really thinking we just how we got Cinderella story from Indiana, man. I'm gonna be honest. I don't see this being the start of the U being back, quite frankly. I'm gonna be honest. I think that this was just one of those years where, team showed up, a lot of things played in their favor. But as far as what we know the U to be, I don't see this as the start of the return of the U. I think they're going to go back to slow being in middle of the pack, if that. So that's my take on this season. And Oregon. Oh, yeah, Oregon. Dylan Raiola, man. They are about to Dylan Raiola, it's looking like he is no longer coming out in the 2027 draft. It is looking like
in this year for sure. So.
It is looking like Dylan Raiola will be the number one pick in the 2028 draft. Because Dante Moore decided to come back after Dylan Raiola commits. Less than 2 days later, he decides to come back. Dylan Raiola is going to be the starting quarterback in 2027 for the Oregon Ducks. And I think they're going to get over that hump that we've been so desperately saying they can't get over for forever.
They get their chain snatched when the moment is big. Kobe, let's go, bro.
Anyways, great college football season, bro. Great college football season. Listen, the higher they go, the harder they fall. Listen, I hated on Miami so bad when they made the CFP, man. I hated on them so bad, but you know what it is, though. You know what it is. I'm glad that they made it. I'm glad that they got to where they got because you know what I'm saying. This is the Carson Beck experience right here.
We talked about it. Yeah, we talked about it last night. It's just sweeter when they get here and
they fall regardless. You know what I'm saying. Shout out Kurt Cignetti, man. Best coach in college football right now. The transfer portal is still heating up. It's still gonna be insane, bro. We got some more portal sessions happening. So, hey, listen, I expect next college football season to be a great one. Last thoughts, Robert Saleh. Go ahead.
You go ahead, Ty.
Great hire by Tennessee. I think that was a great fit for them. It gets them established and a great defensive play caller. And I know that defense is going to look a lot better and a lot more energized flying around. What he done with the 49ers this past year with all those injuries, I think you can tell what he can do. And I think if they get a real good OC and add some weapons to the offense, they're going to start making some strides real soon. So, I mean, like I say, shout out to the Titans. I was with Kobe, like, it's looking tough for them boys out there, but one hire may be able to change everything. So hopefully Salah is that for them.
Jay.
I think that for Tennessee, you hit it out of the park. You got a guy that's going to be a culture setter, got a guy who's going to come in, have structure, and have accountability for the young guys and people coming in within that organization. I think the Titans, they got a chance to make the wild card. We seen it. We seen teams go from not so good from the year before to making that wild card. And I think that they have a chance to do that. And I think the Tennessee Titans will be very, very good in a way that they'll make the steps in the right direction.
B. Hold on. Before B go, hey, listen, if you still in here, you like to talk ball, you like to talk sports, talk music, video games, any of it. We do have an official GRG game recognized game Discord dropping. About to drop the link for y'all, man. Y'all join the Discord. If you like to talk ball, talk sports, talk video games, music, all of it. There will be channels for everything. Y'all share the Discord, man. Share it with all of your friends. Share it with all your boys, all the homies, whatever. You want to get this thing jumping, get this thing rocking. So, you know, we can have, you like to hear these hot takes. You like to talk about them after the pod. You know what I'm saying? You got questions. You want to talk to the cast members, talk to the family, whatever. You know what I'm saying? There you go. Join the Discord. All right, B, go ahead. Last take, Robert Saleh.
Man, like Jay said, man, they hit it out the park. This might be the best head coach pickup of the offseason potentially. I feel as though this instantly gives them a chance to be a wild card contender. We look at how Jacksonville looked a few seasons ago before they got Trevor Lawrence and how down they were. And now looking in the past few seasons, how they're a great defensive team. And simply just show when you got a franchise quarterback, you can get pieces around him. But it starts with your quarterback. I feel as though with Robert Saleh, you got your franchise quarterback already. And one thing we know about Robert Saleh, back to even in New York, you're going to get a great defense when he is operating your defense all the time. So I believe they're going to make a few moves defensively. You got Cam Ward. Don't need to go get much. You got Tony Pollard and those guys. And I think they got a chance to be contenders early. So hats off to Tennessee.
For sure. We out of here, man. GRG, game recognized game. Game recognized game after dark, man. Shout out EDE, shout out Everyday Entertainment, shout out Rock Racks, shout out shout out the Pat, shout out the pod, shout out the panel. Me, Kobe, Ty, J, B. We out.
Yes, sir.